We know that you say the market is fully valued, not undervalued, not overvalued. At the same time, we didn't quite get the pop that you said we would post initial China deal. Is there still room for stocks to run higher?
There's room, but honestly, I'm worried about a little bit too much euphoria out there. In a way, this market is beginning to echo January of 2018, which was also, after a strong fourth quarter on the previous year, a kind of a straight-up year where we have a lot of momentum players that are jumping on this trend. Now, we're not quite as euphoric as we are there because the VIX is at 12, where back then it was at this incredibly low value of 9, which shows like total complacency. But that daily increase, I mean, the earnings were 21 times last year's earnings. I think 20 times this year's earnings. There's no room for any miss over here. And yeah, there's a lot of good news. The China deal, the USMCA deal. I mean, look at housing starts this morning. Wow. But yet, I would be happier if the market was going up at a much slower rate.
But given that we have had so much good news, doesn't that undermine the argument a little bit that there's froth out there? I mean, where do you see the pockets of froth?
Well, when I see pockets of froth, I see the market. I mean, the market looks like. I mean, I thought the market would be up like 10% this year. And it's almost there now in January already. We take a look at earnings. Hey, they're not surprising any more on the upside than usual. Guidance isn't particularly encouraging. Now, there are things that could actually spur earnings in 2020, but there are uncertainties. Look at the political situation. We're going to have an election in November. Is the Mideast totally stable now? We don't know. When you're at these heights and you're traveling this fast, any little stone that's on the road can tip you over. If you're going a little slower, you can manage these rocky shoals a little bit better.
Jeremy, Guy in London, would you short the VIX at 12? You talked about that 9, but would you short it here at 12?
Well, at the market key, I mean, when there's when people only see blue skies ahead, like, oh, wow, these risks are all disappearing. The Iran risk is solved. No more China tariffs, no more this. That's when people say, let's pile into equities. That's when you see the VIX continue to go down. Now, I don't know if it's going to reach the 9 or 10 level that we saw before. So in a way, people say, hey, this could run a lot longer before we get that much complacency. And I say, yes, it could run that much longer. But that was a really unusual situation. I mean, before that, we almost never had the VIX below 11, and now we're at the 12 level. So again, I think this rally has momentum to go a lot longer, but when I see the market going up this quickly, I know that when there does become a little bit of an uncertainty, all those momentum players, they pile off. And remember what happened in February of 2018. Wow, it was like straight down. Now, we may go up 10% before we get a 5, 6, 7% sudden drop. No one can be sure. But right now, I'm a little bit worried about that momentum plays that disregard valuation altogether.